Our scheduled walk along with police officers in Ward 5 was interrupted by a mother's wailing cry. Police say her 44-year-old son, Russell Wiseman, was shot and killed Monday on West Virginia Avenue.
My focus is on the citizens of 5D.
About 2 hours later, we caught up with Commander Sylvan Altieri, just a mile away from the murder scene.
I'm told, by witnesses, they jumped out of the car and not only just shot this person, stood over him and emptied their gun. Is it a certain level of brazenness that we haven't seen before?
Well, based on the shooting, I don't really know all the facts to that because I've not interviewed any witnesses myself. I know, unfortunately, someone in my district lost their life, which is terrible. And as a commander, it's a hard thing to live with.
According to police data, violent crime is up 37% in the district. Here in Ward 5, car thefts, burglaries, and robberies are rising, but homicides, sex abuse, and armed assaults are actually down. The commander credits focused policing for part of that decline. Community officers walking the beat and visiting businesses.
Hello, how are you?
It's relationship building.
We just came to check on y'all.
With accountability.
Is the QRL code still there?
Yes, it's right over here.
Officers scan a QR code and fill out a form documenting their visit and any problems that came up.
You remember Officer Friendly?
Yes, I remember Officer Friendly. So now that me and my partner are out on the streets and engaging with the citizens and community, it's always a shock to them.
I spent some time walking with the officers. Officer Adrian A. Williams is a D.C. native.
I want people in the community to feel safe to talk to us, so feel like we're here to help.
Officer Willie Gallup is from North Carolina.
Even after 5 years, it's still a culture shock?
Do you feel like D.C. is a more dangerous city than others that you've been in?
Yes.
Unequivocally. You answered that quickly.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Do you believe DC is more dangerous than other cities?
I think every city, no matter where you look, especially a city this size, you're going to have crime.
The community feel as though it's unsafe to even walk their dog or walk to their car.
Officer Williams reminds residents to always be aware of your surroundings, but we spotted several people doing exactly what the officer said to avoid. Folks on their phones, in their phones, or walking with ear pods in both ears.
I had no concerns, but I'm lucky enough to live in areas where crime is low, right?
Something were to happen, it's a peace of mind to know that they're there.
Walking the beat, all of this stuff, none of it addresses the root causes of harm, violence, crime.
There's an outcry for, food, money, housing, whatever it is. And that stuff is not supplied by the police.
Commander Altieri said what focused policing can do is help solve crime by building trust and leaning on those community connections for info.
How do we make sure that folks are still able to walk freely down the street without feeling like they're a suspect?
Well, that's a great question. And, and that's a fair question because years ago, all departments, including MPD, were guilty of doing things like jump out and everything else, which was a terrible police tactic. It served no purpose other than to jump out on people in a corner. When we talk about intelligence-based policing and data, we're not talking about mining for data or anything like that. We're talking about things that are known in the community.
You have seen us walking around? Okay, yeah.
So while MPD is relying on data, the commander says policing is more than just the numbers.
People are not statistics. Every number, when you look at a crime data chart, that's a person. And that's, again, a person who's suffering, a person whose family's suffering, and it's tragedy.
Celia Gonsalves, WUSA 9.
Now, Commander Altieri says the crime bill's revision of the police chase policy will also help catch criminals who police see driving around in the same cars. D.C. Council said police had a strict interpretation of the law and thought they could never chase. But now this rewrite makes it clear police can pursue vehicles as long as innocent people will not be hurt in the process.